Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is July 1st, which means it is the first of the month challenge, and we have some fun for you. Hint, hint, I'm wearing red. Anyways, before we get to the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my sweet Oliver, and if you're returning, you guys are the best. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. I'm going to take two of the wood hanging signs from Dollar Tree. I'm going to connect them together using these jumbo craft sticks from Walmart and wood glue and hot glue. Again, the wood glue is for permanent hold and the hot glue is for immediate hold. And then after I had that all glued together, I did fill in the bottom and middle holes with spackling and then painted the whole thing with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. Once it was dry, I went ahead and added my Mod Podge to the front of it, and I'm just going to brush that all in, and then I will set it aside to dry. Takes maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe at the most. It doesn't take very long to dry at all. So then once it was all dry, I'm going to take my napkin that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to remove the backing. I'm going to lay it out, and then I'm going to put parchment paper over it, go over it with my heat press. The parchment paper protects the napkin. The heat press reactivates that Mod Podge so the napkin will stick. And then yeah, then I have that, and I'll do the next side too. But you guys have seen me use this napkin a lot lately, but it's so versatile. I first used it for summer DIYs with like watermelon picnics, that kind of thing. And then I used it for farmhouse because it can look very countryish. And then I thought, hey, why not for gingerbread? Because it just kind of makes you feel like gingerbread and Christmas, and at least me. So I thought this napkin is functional here. Maybe I can even figure out a way to how to use it for fall. We'll have to see. Anyways, I took another napkin and cut it in half, and then I just really made sure that those lines matched up perfectly, and then I'm just going to go over it with my heat press again to get that second set, or that second napkin, all set and stuck. Then after it was all done, I took my Mod Podge and a fan brush, and I'm just going to lightly go over it, the whole napkin. That just gives it that protective coat so that it just protects that napkin. After I was all done, I took my finger sander here, and I'm just going to sand off the extra napkin, and I did this all the way around my sign until that napkin was all flush on the sides. Then I got this paper gingerbread banner from Miss Yasmin. Thank you, Yasmin. She sent me a box of goodies here a month or two ago, and I thought this would be great to use. So I'm just trying to find the end there, and I'm going to remove the twine from all of those, and they are glued together. They're double-sided. They've got a little bit of glue there, but if you're careful, you can pull them apart. And I just thought that's perfect because now I have a double the items that I might need by just slightly tearing them apart and then cutting them at the top where it's folded. And so that's what I did. I used the tree and that little gingerbread man, and then I used a gingerbread lady as well. And then after, I said tree, but after a while I realized, oh, this is really it's the shape of a tree, but it's house. It took me a minute to realize that. Anyways, I was just kind of going to cut around that peppermint so it wasn't squared off in the on the top, and then I just took my Titebond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue, and I'm just adding a little bit all along the back of these, and I'm just going to glue them to my sign here. And then when I was done, I had this ribbon. I think I got this from Temu, and I'm just going to glue it all the way around my sign. Now, if you want to recreate this, you could definitely use Christmas ribbons to go around it or something. All my Christmas stuff is up in the attic, and I really didn't want to go up there. It's really hot up there right now, but I just didn't want to have to go up there and dig through everything. So I just went ahead and used what I had on hand, and I still had my puff paint on hand. So this is a glittery puff paint. So I'm just going to go outline both the gingerbread people as well as my treehouse. How's that? Treehouse with that glitter puff paint, and then I just let it sit overnight. And once I came back the next morning, I then took and made a hole on the other the opposite end that had the hole already, and then I just took some more of that ribbon, and I'm just going to thread it through those holes and tie knots on the ends. And then I just took some of this gingham ribbon from Dollar Tree and made just a regular shoestring bow with it. And then once I had it to the size that I liked, I'm going to cut the ends at a dovetail. So you just fold in half and cut at an angle. And then I'm just going to glue that right on the middle of my sign, right above the tree. And there it is. Super simple, but I think it's really cute. If you recreate this, you could always put a little Merry Christmas sign or something on it. But I just love it how it is. You have to let me know what you think about it in the comment box below. Okay, today is the first of the month, and that means it's the first of the month challenge that I host every month with my friend Krista with Krista's Crafty Life. This month's theme is the Christmas in July, which is so much fun. So make sure you check out her channel and the playlist. I will have links to both of them in my description box to get all kinds of fun Christmas inspiration. Okay, DIY number 2. And those of you that have been around with me a lot, you know I love gingerbread. So I have these plastic candy containers from Dollar Tree. They come in a 2-pack, 2 for $1.25. I'm going to paint them with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Hazelnut. Now, I did have to paint them twice. I had to put 2 coats on them so that it looked dark and like it should be. And I'm going to do the bottom as well. And then I'm also going to do the lids that come off of them. Now, I had 4. I'm going to use all 4 of these candy jars, but I'm only going to paint 2 of them. If you want to recreate this, you could always paint the bottom as well. You'll see what I'm going to do with it, but I just thought it would be fun to leave the bottom clear so that you can see what we're going to put inside of it. Now I'm going to create some faces on these, and I'm just using my paintbrush there to help me know how to draw circles, because I don't do very good straight circles. And see, even outlining them with a pin, I don't do a very good job. But anyways, I'm just going to color in those eyes with my black marker, and you'll see what I'm doing here. But originally, I planned on having it to where the open part was up instead of down like it is right there. And after I got the face painted on, I went, oh man, I did it the wrong way. So I had to improvise. If you want to recreate this, you could do it with the lid part up. And I'll tell you why in a minute here. But once I had the face all painted in, I also took my red marker here to create the nose. I'm going to give it some little cheeks. And this is going to be my female gingerbread person. And then I just kind of look at it again, and I'm going to color in, give it some white on the eyes there. And again, I always go on Pinterest and type in gingerbread faces, gingerbread people faces or something like that, and get an idea of the different ways you can make their eyes and faces and stuff. And I go from there. And then after I had that done, I thought, oh, put a little bit of white in the mouth, I think on the nose and stuff, the cheeks, everything. It just brings it to life a little bit more. Gives it a little more interest, I think. So after that, I am going to give it some eyelashes. I'm like, oh, it needs eyelashes here and some eyebrows. And then I took my white paint marker, and I'm going to make like icing lines. And I'm just going to go all around the lid. That should be at the top, not at the bottom, if I would have not been thinking right. But look at the bottom back. I tried to use my heat gun. I thought I didn't have it in one space very long, but look at it, it started melting. So don't use your heat gun on these. Yeah, because it wasn't on there for very long at all. So then I went ahead and did some icing marks around the face as well. And I'm just going to go all the way around it. And I do paint the lid of the one that it's going to go on top of. But I don't paint the rest of the candy jar. I keep the candy jar unpainted, but the lid I did paint. I just felt like it looked a little bit better. This one I'm going to put a little bow on the top because she's a girl. And then I'm going to glue this. I'm going to use hot glue and Fix-All glue. I should have done the Fix-All glue first after I did this. I'm like, what am I thinking? But anyways, it still worked, and I'm just doing the Fix-All glue for the permanent hold, hot glue for immediate hold, and then I glued them on top of the non-painted one. This is going to be the boy, so I'm just kind of doing his eyes a little bit different, giving him some eyelashes but a little different, and some eyebrows. And instead of a bow on his head, I decided to, well, I'm going to glue them together first. And you can see on the bottom there, I filled them up with candy with some peppermints. I thought that would be fun. So this would be a great little like neighbor gift, teacher gift, little gift for your grandkids, fill it up with some candy, some Hershey's Kisses or something. That's why I said if you did the face part the other way, you could fill both of them up because they're not very big. But I just thought this was going to be really fun. So I added some of the puff paint to the top there to kind of cover the bottom of the candy jar. And then I'm adding some little sprinkles that I have. These are polymer clay. Oh, I can't say it. Anyways, I got them from Amazon, and there they are. I just love them. I think they're adorable. You have to let me know in the comment box below.
Well, here we are, you guys, July 1st, which means Christmas in July. I've got my red shirt on. Oliver's got his new bow tie that is black and red. It's all for Christmas. We got to do something to try to help us feel like Christmas because it's almost 100 degrees outside and it's hot and it don't feel like Christmas. But we have so much fun. I hope you're enjoying the playlist. Christmas in July is a lot of fun to do. It's fun to get some ideas going for the Christmas season that's coming ahead. And for those of you that have craft shows, I hope that you can get some inspiration from our playlist today. And I also want to thank all of you guys for your understanding for not having a video on Sunday. Everything was okay. I had some people worried that there was something wrong. Everything was fine. I just realized I looked at my calendar and I had a lot going on. My mom's birthday was on Saturday. I had to do grocery shopping on Friday. We had a Bible study here on Sunday. And then my mom has surgery today on her knee. And then we have 4th of July on Friday. And just looking at my schedule, I'm just like, I wasn't sure how I was going to fit everything in. And I decided, instead of trying to stress myself out, I'm just going to not have a video on Sunday. And that was really hard for me because, it takes away from my income, but also I don't want to disappoint any of you guys. So anyways, but I appreciate all of you guys' understanding. It really meant the world to me. Plus I'm going to be gone here in a couple of weeks, going to go visit my son and my daughter and their families and see my grandson who's turning 3. I'm so excited. So I've got a lot to do to prepare for that too. So I thank all of you guys for your understanding for that. But anyways, let's get to the playlist. If you are new here, I am so glad you stopped by. If you like home decor on a budget, I would love it if you'd hit that red subscribe button and become part of our YouTube family. And if you are returning, you guys know how much I appreciate you. You guys are amazing. So I am going to quit our chit-chatting so that you can get some fun Christmas inspiration. So with all of that, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, a time for a celebration of your recreations. And Kathy recreated my farm fresh sign. I love it. And I love your cross sign and the home sign. They're so pretty, Kathy. Thank you for sharing these. And then we have Phyllis. Oh my goodness, that Highland cow is so stinking adorable. And I love the milk, bacon, and eggs one too. Thank you so much, Phyllis. And then we have Debbie, who made these beautiful patriotic DIYs. I love them all. They are just so pretty. Thank you so much for sharing them with us. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, DIY number 3. And I'm sorry, I only have 3 DIYs for you guys today. Like I said, it's been very busy. So I took a 12 by 12 wood sign. I'm going to paint it with Waverly chalk paint in the color Cashew. Then I created the stencil with my Cricut, and I'm going to go over it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, you could still recreate this if you wanted to. You could use stickers for this. You could also use wood letters as well. And then I'm going to pull up my vinyl here once it was all dry. And then I'm just going to use my little weeding tool to get all the middle pieces out of there. And after I was all done with that, I'm going to take 3 of these wood mugs from Dollar Tree, and I am going to paint them all, the bottom part, the cup part, with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Hazelnut, because these are going to be gingerbread faces, gingerbread cups. And then I'm going to draw some different faces on there. I always draw them out with my pencil first. That just kind of helps me make sure that they look decent. And then I go over them with my paint markers. And I am going to color in the white. So I can, as you can see, the one that's already done is looking to its left. And this one's going to look to its right. And then the bottom one I'm going to have looking straight ahead, but I'm just kind of trying to do each one of them just a little bit different, so that gives them each their own personality. And then here you can see I'm doing this one, it's going to look straight ahead. I'm just going to trace everything out. And yeah, again, I am no artist. I know a lot of people who can just imagine this and draw this, but I have to look at pictures just so I can get an idea of how to draw these things, because when it comes to my imagination on painting and stuff, it's just not there. Anyways, after I have them all painted in, I took my puff paint and I am just going to go over the top, the whipped cream part, with my puff paint. And then I'm going to take some more of those sprinkles and I'm just going to add them all in. And that puff paint, once it dries, it does act like glue, and those little pieces stick on there. And then after I had them all filled in, you probably would want to glue them on before you put the puff paint on. I was thinking about that as I was doing that bottom one. I'm like, because it might be kind of hard, you know, I don't know. I didn't want to mess up the puff paint. So I went ahead and glued the other ones on before I put the puff paint on them. And then I decided to use just some of the puff paint and add some of those sprinkles all around my sign. I just thought that would be so much fun. And then I went ahead and took some of this red and white striped baker's twine that I got from Dollar Tree a few years ago. And I am going to just glue it all the way around with my hot glue, all the way around my sign. And I just thought that gave it some fun, festive look. Then I marked where I wanted to make my hanger holes and use my big mouth crocodile. I realized those holes were way too big for this baker's twine, so instead of tying knots on the back, I went ahead and cut it to the length I wanted, took the two ends, put them together and wrapped them around, made a knot around my finger with them, made a double knot there, and then we have a hanger. And then I'm going to make a 4-loop finger bow. I'm just going to wrap my fingers like you see right there. And then I'm going to cut an extra long tail. I'm going to take that tail, I'm going to wrap it, I'm going to come up and wrap it around the loops that are on my finger, come up and go through that loop that I just made, and then pull really tightly. And then you have a finger bow. And then after I have that done, I'm going to glue it right to the top. And I think that's all there is for this one. I just think it is so cute and so much fun. Yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well in the comment box below. And then the final reveal is coming right up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, I had to do gingerbread, but you know me, I love it. But anyways, I'm sure you'll get some other inspiration with the playlist, so make sure you check that out. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that before you go. Make sure you guys comment, like, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. I will be back again on I will have a compilation video for you on Thursday, but I will be back again on Sunday with a new video. So I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.